Is Azzi Fudd going to play? It appears so. Not certain, but it definitely appears like she will play tomorrow against Georgetown.
Daniel LaRusso's going to fight?
Now, if you're a UConn optimist, then you're thinking it's always darkest before the dawn. And hopefully, Azzi Fudd is that dawn, and UConn can make a run back to the Final Four and be their usual dominant self. Now, the darkness that I speak of was Geno Auriemma after UConn beat Xavier. This was the next day, no less. He had time to settle down. It wasn't immediate aggro after the game. He must have seen the tape, and he had no doubt that he was definitely grumpy with UConn's performance against Xavier and generally how they have played since losing to South Carolina. Since then, it has been a mess on offense, and he is done with it and let everybody have it, basically. The press conference started with a layup question from a reporter saying, hey, how do you feel about winning 30 straight conference titles? Just a layup for him to go on about how wonderful UConn is and how great their sustained success was. But he was having none of it, basically saying, well, those teams aren't here. This is what we have right now. And then he went from there. It was like your Thanksgiving dinner when your uncle or grandpa goes on a rant telling it like it is. And that's what Geno did in this press conference. He just let everybody have it. Here are some of the dot points from it. 1, he is sick of hearing the excuses about how UConn is tired. Fatigue is not the issue. The issue is we don't talk. If fatigue was the issue, we could not get up and down the court in transition, and they can do that just fine. So he is not having any of that. What UConn's problem is, in Geno's opinion, and he said this, was that UConn, the players are selfish. They are selfish. Now, he went on to say, we're not selfish in the terms that, not that we won't pass the ball. It's not that, no. Their selfishness is that they won't listen to what the coaches have been telling them all season. So corrections that they've been told to make, they still don't make them, and that's just awful. There is absolutely no talk on defense. He went on and on about this, and just generally, as well, he threw his coaches under the bus, including himself, saying it's the worst coaching job we've done in years. So he threw himself in there as well, and he's sick of looking at it. Now, the next point that got made was another layup question celebrating Nika Mule, or it was the chance to. Basically, a reporter was asked, how do you feel about Nika being nominated as one of the finalists for the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard Award? And he was like, yes, this is great. And then he proceeded to rip the hell out of her for like the next 5 minutes, basically saying she turns over the ball too much. She tries to make the hero pass, thinking that she is Sue Bird, and she is not Sue Bird. She is not Taurasi. She cannot make those passes, and she will not hold on to the damn ball. And it seems to be driving him crazy. Because as well, he went on a little bit of a rant as well about part of the selfishness. Take Nika Mule. We've been telling her for years to use 2 hands when you go to make layups. But no, she insists on going to the basket and doing one-handed finger rolls, and that's why she doesn't finish. Again, that's selfishness in his opinion. And overall, that was the general tone of the press conference. When asked about Azzi Fudd and if she would return and what impact this would have, he wasn't real optimistic about this as well, saying, there was an adjustment when we got Paige Beckers back last year, and she really hasn't had the time to do that. Her impact, might be minimal as she's not in game shape and things like that. But he did have the caveat, I'd rather have Azzi Fudd playing than not playing if she's able to, as I've seen this team without Azzi Fudd, and I'd much rather have Fudd on the team. He also got another chance to take a shot at the fatigue issue when somebody asked, will it be an issue in the conference tournament, playing back-to-back games? And he's like, that shouldn't be an issue because it's very unlikely we will be because we're playing so bad. I'm not really worried about that. It was almost, it reminded me of Jim Mora. Playoffs? Playoffs? Sorry, that's my best Jim Mora imitation. Now, where does this leave us? Is this just a coach ranting his team, trying to motivate them, getting ready, and trying to talk through the press to tell them to stop feeling sorry for themselves and probably going after Nika a bit, just letting her know. Probably going after her a bit because she in the press because he knows she can take it. Just letting them know, hey, pull your heads out and start playing. So if you're a UConn supporter, this is just Geno using some psychological games to get his team ready, and this will give them the best chance to make their run to the Final Four. And hell, if they do, then that's just his genius, and he'll be celebrated. Now, if they don't, if Fudd comes out and not really ready to play, which is high potential, and they go early from the tournament, this will likely lead to a Denny Green. This team was who I thought it was, which is wildly inconsistent and never knowing what the hell you're going to get. So it'll be interesting to see. I could see that happening, just saying, hell, all season I never knew if this team was going to be great or awful, and it's just been a terrible season. So if you're a UConn supporter, hopefully Fudd comes back, plays well. Good luck to you. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Please give it a like and subscribe. Your comments and poison are most welcome. I don't think I said Auriemma in that video, but I don't know. It's a tick with me. If I did say Auriemma versus Auriemma, I apologize to the world.